Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The chase host Bradley Walsh was left far from impressed after his team of players made some very questionable decisions before taking on chaser Darragh Ennis in the hopes of winning some cash. Bradley Walsh didn't hold back on the chase as he labeled his team's efforts disastrous. Article continues below. The 64-year-old host introduced 4 fresh faces ready to challenge Darragh Ennis for a chance at the prize pot. First up was Ian, a London-based actor. The 65-year-old could only muster 2 correct answers in the cash builder, bringing a meager £2,000 to the table. Darragh dangled a low offer of £200 and an enticing £20,000 before Ian, who opted to play it safe with his initial amount. Unfortunately, Ian's strategy didn't pay off, as Darragh quickly eliminated him from the game, reports The Express. Following Ian was Diane, who fared even worse in the cash builder with just 1 correct answer. Faced with only £1,000 on her board, the 32-year-old structural engineer bravely went for the high offer of £25,000. However, Darragh proved too formidable once again, sending her packing. Ruth, a 55-year-old cycling instructor, then tried her luck. She topped the day's cash builder scores with 3 correct answers. Despite Jason's advice to go for the £1,000, Ruth aimed a little higher, at £3,000. But before Ruth could join her teammates, Bradley saw the writing on the wall, remarking, "This is really disastrous for my team." Finally, 29-year-old Jason, a doctor from Bristol, stepped up with a respectable 5 correct answers from the cash builder. However, when Darragh dangled a staggering £100,000 carrot in front of him, he couldn't resist the temptation to inch closer. Unfortunately for Jason, Darragh was relentless and nabbed him before he could make his way back. With all contestants knocked out, they were given the chance to resurrect 1 player for the final chase. The team rallied behind Jason, who managed to correctly answer 12 questions solo. But he was no match for the menace, who reeled him in with 49 seconds to spare. Wrapping up the show, Darragh underscored the significance of mulling over the lower offer, speculating that the tables could have turned had Jason's teammates survived to the final chase. Bradley Walsh pinched the bridge of his nose, a flicker of disbelief dancing across his face as the studio lights glared down. Another team, another chance to beat the chaser, but today's final chase was teetering on the edge of total disaster. "Right," Bradley said, forcing a grin as he turned to the team of 3. "You've built 11 steps." A heavy silence followed, broken only by a muffled cough from the back of the audience. 11 against Darragh Ennis, the calm and methodical chaser who had been waiting with his arms folded, eyes sharp, every bit the quiet predator. "Disastrous effort that," Bradley muttered under his breath, though the microphone caught it enough for the sound engineer to flinch. Today's team had started with energy, buzzing with chatter in the green room and swapping trivia facts like trading cards. Simon had bragged he was unbeatable on capital cities, while Ellie claimed her Netflix quiz nights made her quiz queen. But when the lights came on, so did the nerves. Simon blanked on a question about the Eiffel Tower's country, answering Italy, while Ellie stumbled on who wrote Pride and Prejudice, blurting out Emily Bronte in panic. Their cash builder rounds had been a patchwork of guesses and sighs. Now, facing Darragh, Bradley could see the tension trembling in Ellie's hands as she fidgeted with her buzzer. Darragh, meanwhile, was the embodiment of calm. He glanced down at his shoes, then back up, his slight smile betraying the fact that he already knew the outcome. The first question came, a straightforward geography query. The team conferred nervously, but it was wrong. Another question, this time about the periodic table. Simon stammered before Ellie cut in, answering hydrogen when the correct answer was helium. Bradley closed his eyes.
"Come on, guys, please," he said, half in jest, half in genuine agony, glancing at the clock ticking down mercilessly. They managed to snag a pushback, and for a second hope flickered in the studio. But Darragh, unfazed, calmly answered the next string of questions with the precision of a laser. Each correct answer moved him closer, each wrong move from the team sealing their fate. The tension in the air was thick enough to taste. "Time is up," Bradley announced, dropping his arms in defeat. The groan from the team was almost drowned by the polite applause from the audience. Darragh nodded respectfully, giving them a quiet, good effort, though the scoreboard disagreed. Bradley shook his head, walking over with a mixture of sympathy and comedic disbelief. "That was one of the most disastrous efforts I've seen in a while," he said, forcing them to laugh through their disappointment. But as the lights dimmed and the credits rolled, Bradley clapped each of them on the back. "You gave it a shot," he told them, voice softening, "and that's what matters. Come back again, yeah?" Behind him, Darragh quietly packed away his notes, the studio ready for the next hopeful team who would try to outsmart the chaser. Because on the chase, every disaster was simply the start of another story waiting to unfold.